Good evening, everyone. Time is 7 o'clock, December 7th, 2023, our regular Mountain House Public Safety Committee meeting. So, item in this agenda number 1 is call to order and roll call. Sarah Rexdale, please.
Yes, of course. Director Dillon,
Here.
Amrit Shima, Navjot Sidhu,
Here.
Tony Burdick, Sebastian Gonzalez, Raghu Malapaka, Tajdeep Ratan.
I'm here.
Thank you. Rajinder Sandhu, Rajesh Deek, and Junsun Lee.
Here.
Thank you. And you know, I'm sorry, but I'm remote. I just wanted to, I show General Manager Steve Pinkerton is there, Roger Alvarez. From Rank Security, we have Steve Rank and Anthony DeFrenchi. Are there any other persons you want me to list, Roger? Any staff members you want to list?
I think you gotta have the mic on, Roger. I think she can.
There's quite a few. So we have Charlie Halford. We have Sergeant Justin Ward, Lieutenant Joe Pini, and
Okay, wait. Okay, Alfred, Ward. Okay.
Lieutenant Joe Pini.
From CHP.
Yes, from CHP.
Uh-huh.
And Officer Nelson Zelaya. Is it Zelaya? I'm sorry. Did I get it? Okay. From CHP as well. And then we have Rank, Scott Crawford, and Rex Osborne. I believe that covers it. Oh, I think she
Okay.
got, sorry. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. You're right next to me. I'm right next to you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Roger.
Also, we have one of the high school student, Sochaya. So he is a junior in Mountain High School, and off of the school, he's teaching little kids robotics and mathematics. So he today is here to see what we do in this Public Safety Committee meeting. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. So let's move on to number 2, which is Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Johnson Lee to lead us on.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Item number 3 is public comments. No action or discussion shall be taken on any item raised during public comments, except the committee members may briefly respond to the statements or questions. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please turn off your cell phones and pages. Thank you. I think we have few attendants on the Zoom also. So item number 4 is approval of the minutes of last meeting, which was held on 10/19/2023. We missed the last month meeting due to holidays, Thanksgivings. Do we have any questions about the last meeting before we can approve it? No questions, so I hereby approve these last meeting minutes. Thank you. Agenda item number 5 is for me. Chairman's report and program updates. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who participated in these Public Safety Committee meetings, our staff, CHP, Sheriff Department, rank security, and Steve, I think we started a regular Public Safety Committee meeting in January 2021, right?
Correct.
And I think we have not missed any, besides maybe 1 or 2, which has a clash with the holidays or something, but it was active and we have done so much work. This committee has been successful in studying all the crime preventions, public safety issues, traffic issues, and we were able to implement the neighborhood watch program. So our Roger Alvarez has done so much work, so much. Thank you, Roger, for that. And he did awesome job, and we set up so many neighborhood watch program. Plus, we were successful to install multiple cameras for the security on the streets and on the lights. And they're doing, these cameras are very, very useful for the sheriff, CHP, and rank. And crime rate has gone down, and we don't see anything major in Mountain House. Even we had issues about catalytic converters being stolen. I think we have not heard any news that these thieves are coming to Mountain House to steal these properties. And thank you. Good job on the Sheriff Department, CHP, and rank security. That's all. This is the last meeting of the year, and we'll continue next year. I think good news is Mountain is becoming a city. So it'll be new city in May 1st, and elections are on March 5th. So people of residents will decide who's going to be mayor, who's going to be council members of this Mountain House city, new city in America. Thank you. So next one we have, number 6 is crime prevention report on neighborhood watch / business watch, public safety planning calendar is for our crime prevention officer, Alvarez.
Thank you, Director Dillon. As far as neighborhood watches, I have not been very active just because of the events we've had, vacation, holidays. But I have been in contact with several neighborhood watch groups still, and actually one I'm looking to finalize a day for a meeting and in conjunction with the fire department. So they want to set up, they would like to set up a first aid CPR training during the neighborhood watch group meeting, which is, it's a big group down in College Park. So I'm really looking forward to that. We also have kicked off the business watch. Believe it was 2 months ago, myself, Sergeant Ward, and Lieutenant Lindeman walked some of the businesses, made contacts, and passed out information. So that's going well. There's a few more businesses I need to contact, but that seems to be going well. I don't have anything in the public safety planning calendar at the moment, no events. So hopefully that changes soon once we start coordinating meetings with neighborhood watch groups and business watch groups as well. And that's all I have.
Good evening. Right now, off the top of my head, there are no crime trends that I'm aware of going on in Mountain House. Are there any questions that I may be able to answer?
You should mention the increased patrols for traffic, maybe.
Yeah, there's huge increased patrol. I believe last month alone, there was 222 car stops just in last month.
Which you said was a 10-fold increase, right? From previous.
Oh,
years?
absolutely. Yeah, I think the previous year we were at 22 car stops for the month, which this year we're at 222.
Thank you,
Right.
sir. Thank you, Sergeant. So next, item number 8 is traffic safety concerns, which is CHP. Officer Penny.
Good evening, everyone. So a bit to report, since receiving going into contract with the Mountain House community, we've been out for the last 2 months, and October, November, we started that contract in October of this year. So with that, we've written 154 citations, and we've utilized approximately 30 hours into the contract. We break that down by contract, by hours. And so we look forward to obviously continuing this partnership and doing what we can do to help slow traffic down. One of the big things that we see, school traffic is really a bit out of shape. We have a lot of people. I had 2 officers out this morning patrolling a few of the elementary schools and some of the in the high school, and the amount of citations that they issued 14 this morning. And that was based on, I mean, really bad traffic. I mean, they're bad drivers with kids in every direction. For example, there was a crosswalk and there's a center divide. Some children went to cross the street, stopped in the center divide, and a car went at a very high rate of speed, stopped at the stop sign, however, made a very aggressive turning movement right in front of the kids. And these kids are right anywhere from 8 to 12 years old. So being unpredictable, the officer made a stop and issued a citation that unfortunately the person was not very happy about. But fact being, we're out there trying to protect your kids. And that's kind of the thing we see the most of is really around the schools and how that really impacts traffic safety in Mountain House. Any other questions?
Go ahead.
Hi, officer. Just a quick question on whether it's the amount of traffic tickets have been issued. Is that because of more presence of officers all of a sudden, a little more a watchful eye on your behalf on CHP, or is it just the uptick of issues with traffic?
Over the past year, we have really tried to make more of an impact and more of a presence within the community, knowing we're trying to reduce the amount of collisions that occur and keep people safe. We do, entering into a contract, it does give us an opportunity to put more officers on overtime so we can increase our presence to slow people down.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So any extra patrolling for the holiday season, like from now into Christmas and New Year?
During Christmas, we have a maximum enforcement period, so we do put out more. In addition, just recently, November 1st, we've gotten a lot of transfers in and increased our amount of officers. And we now are on 12-hour shifts. So it actually increased our patrol numbers from 5:30 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, where we have 2 additional patrolling during that time. So we have more bodies coming, and this just continues to help us attack what's going on in here. Anything
Thank you
else?
very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Officer Penny from CHP. So next is agenda number 9. Item number 9 is fire prevention and fire hazard from Mountainous Fire Department. Do we have anyone from fire department today on Zoom?
They're not here. The fire chief said he may make it. If not, the on-duty captain would, but they may be busy. Regardless, I informed the fire chief that I would share some information that he asked me to. Let's see. So he asked me to share the fire prevention tips for the holidays. So this, I believe, he said he was also going to post it on their website and their social media pages. And there is one more as well. Let me share that. Sorry. Right now, my Zoom is not. All right, I'm having computer issues here, so I am just going to. Disregard the last one because Zoom is not cooperating with me. Or this computer. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just going to disregard the last one and continue.
All right, thank you. Next item in agenda is previous discussions updates. 10A is district emergency plan. Who's going to do that? Roger?
So Chris Stevens here. What we're doing as far as the district emergency plans is we are moving towards the transition from being a district to being a city. All of our current plans are complete. Now what we're looking at is what type of training is going to be necessary for the staff as we make that transition, as well as what we're going to need to adjust in the plans going from being a district to a city. So this will be a transitional period for several months. And the report's pretty much going to be the same over and over again. We're transitioning, getting ready for the move, anticipating that that the move will occur and that the election will go that way. But we're also looking at, after the first of the year, starting to pull together staff in one place at one time to start working with the entire district staff to get them up to speed on the existing plans. And I've got if you've got any questions, Rex is here, I'm here, Charlie's here, we can answer any for you.
Thank you, Chris. I think I got one question. So when we do this transition, how many months will it take to fully, because we are under San Joaquin County emergency plan right now. And really, we didn't implement our own plan for CST, but how long it will take once we start it?
I think an awful lot of it's going to be just changing of nomenclature, and there'll be some, there's going to be some transition as to who deploys what, but whenever anything like that, any major thing goes wrong, we start off with the county, and the county will be giving direction as to what they're going to be doing. Our representation to the county, when it comes time for things like the county establishing a command post and working with the county office, is going to pretty much stay the same. I think an awful lot of it is just making sure that we're still that as the city, whatever's required of the city, and it's going to take a little bit more research, and that's Charlie's going to be our fulcrum on that, because he's familiar with both what the cities need to do and with what the district needs to do. It's going to be an awful lot of it is just organizational type stuff. I don't think in terms of spending money on equipment and things like that is going to change very much at all.
Steve, I got a question for you. Will there be like a department for this one, or existing staff will run the emergency plans?
It'll be the same, we'll be using the same outside folks we're using right now at the moment, it depends on growth.
Okay. All right, thank you. So next,
I got a quick,
go ahead, Amrit.
just quick question. I think this may have been asked, Chris, before, and you may have answered, so I apologize if it's a repeat. But I think we had an app that was developed along with this entire big, huge manual that you guys worked hard on developing the content for this emergency plan, but there was an app that went along with it as well too. Would that all be transitioned over? Would that be usable in the future? Because that's
Well-
recently came out, with a lot of effort you guys spent.
Well, we have two different, what we've got is, we have a variety of different emergency plans. The app is specifically applicable to the emergency response plan for this facility that we're in right now
Okay.
versus what the community has to do, a community response. The app at this stage of the game is just for how do we deal with what happens at town hall and by extension, the library as well, since it's basically the same building. And that's not going to change because that's a facility plan versus a community plan, which is where we'll be doing an awful lot of our production in making sure that the community plan is a reasonable extension of what the county already expects of us, to a place where it's the city that's providing rather than the district that's providing. So like I said, a lot of it's going to be nomenclature and a lot of it's going to be just making sure that we have the policies adjusted to city rather than district. But the app itself is just applicable to this. To this
Good, because I
facility.
know there's a lot of effort you guys spend and possibly money as well, so that much will be saved. At least it's particular to buildings here and infrastructure, all that stuff. So thank you.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank you, Chris. So next one is 10B, camera system updates for Roger Alvarez, please.
Thank you. We are working on renewing our agreement with Flock. So I was hoping to hear back from Flock today to meet our deadline for the board meeting next week, and they have not responded with the updated corrections on the renewal agreement. So it may be pushed to January, but it does not affect the functionality. They're still operating. And Avigilon is still functional. We have no issues. And I know that there are at least 3 critical locations that have high vehicular traffic that we need to look at for surveillance cameras to assist in vehicle collision investigations. So hopefully, while we're discussing budget, we'll be able to squeeze in some money for those locations that have surveillance cameras. But that's all I have, unless anybody has questions.
Any questions? So we are planning to have adding more cameras, right?
From Avigilon,
Mhm.
hopefully, we'd have to look into the budget, so. There was nothing budgeted for the extension or addition of cameras for this fiscal year, but hopefully next fiscal year it may change.
How about the newer areas like, are we fully covered in the College Park and all 4 days and area, those Grand Line area?
Well, we have 32 cameras throughout the community, and it's always beneficial to add cameras. And if we can have cameras at every intersection, that would be extremely beneficial, but the cost would greatly increase. But we're looking at the critical locations where we have received requests from the CHP for collision investigations, and we did not have cameras at those locations, so we're looking to add cameras to those locations that have seen in a number of traffic collisions.
I think, gentlemen, and Steve, we can look into this, that we can increase more cameras in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we're gonna be developing a updated master plan soon. Right now, we've been working on just getting everything in place and working, but you know, we're gonna work with Charlie and Roger and figure out next steps, particularly now that the bridge to nowhere is gonna be opening this year, and we've got a lot more development happening in College Park. We've got to start looking at additional neighborhoods plus other areas of interest. But the first step has been trying to make sure we've got the flock cameras, as many flock cameras as possible, but we're getting there.
Okay,
Definitely.
thank you, Steve. So next one is 10C, blight concerns, graffiti, illegal dumping, panhandling, camping, loitering, and trespassing. Again, is for Roger.
Thank you. So as far as graffiti, the only reported incident that I recall is at the playground at Wickland Park. There was graffiti that was on the structure, one of the play structures for the kids, and it was taken care of that day. It was reported by our maintenance staff. I don't know of any other graffiti. I have not seen any other graffiti reported into Go Request. Illegal dumping, I know there's a few places. On the screen is one of them. It's actually a trailer with no license plate, no VIN, identifying information that was actually dumped on the street full of trash. And as you can see, the trash is overflowing and blowing off in the wind. I was informed of this today, myself and Anthony DeFrenchi from Rank went and investigated this. So that's on the to-do list of removing this from our streets. And there was a couple incidents, maybe ongoing, of somebody down by Creekside Trail that has been rummaging through the trash cans. And I don't believe there was any damage done, but it may be the person also that is responsible for the vandalism in the bathroom down there, so we're not sure. But this is ongoing, and the sheriff's office and Rank Security are conducting extra patrols of the area to hopefully stop it and identify the person responsible. Panhandling, camping, loitering, trespassing, I have not received any information on any of those violations or incidents. Do you know of any, Justin? None from the sheriff's office, so there's no reported incidents regarding that. That's all I have. Any questions? Yeah, there's littering throughout the community, small littering. We are concerned with the big dump sites where people will show up with trailers or trucks and, offload mattresses, appliances, household trash. So that's what we're more concerned about, even though, we don't want to see any trash, no matter how small, throughout the community. So we would like to maintain a very presentable community. Any other questions? Okay, that's all I have.
Actually, it's Lambertville School District responsibility if there is anything in their parameters, like any loitering or anything, the schools is there. CSD won't do anything about this.
Okay.
Thank you. So next is, any questions about this? No? Okay, let's move forward to 10D. Upcoming meeting dates are like, next one will be 18th January 2024 on Zoom. Then February 22nd, 2024 is hybrid, both Zoom and in person. And March 21st, 2024 is hybrid. So any dates are okay?
Director, no, actually, I just noticed that, Director Dillon, that's a typo. That should be Zoom on March 21st, so I will have to correct that.
Okay,
So March 21st, 2024 should be Zoom. only.
Zoom, okay. Thank you, Roger. Next one is 11. Item 11 is new topics. 11A, incorporation transition process for elementary services. That's for sheriff's right?
Well, actually, I was the one who requested that this be added to the agenda. And what I'm thinking along the same lines as what we discussed a little bit further regarding training for the new city people and so on like that, is that I think it would be a good time to open the conversation about what this committee is going to be doing and how it's going to function under a city rather than under a district. So I'd like us to, there's going to be some research that we're going to need to be doing and just figure out how things are going to move from the Public Safety Committee as a district committee versus what responsibilities or what's going to be going on as a city committee, what changes are going to be made, whether it's going to have to be reformatted, how we're going to have to do things. But I think right now that it'd be good for the committee members to start thinking of what, if any, changes are going to take place and what the responsibilities are going to be. So there's going to be a little bit of research that we're going to have to be doing to go into it as well. But I think if we get ahead of it and it becomes a point of conversation on a regular basis from meeting to meeting, that we'll be much better prepared as a committee for the actual transition. So I wanted to get it on the agenda.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, but I didn't understand whole.
Yeah, I think it was a quick note that I dropped to Roger and so it's been there was a little bit of a communication issue there, but we just want to get the committee started talking about how things are going to be different and how we're going to respond to them.
Thank you, Chris. And gentleman is Steve. Can you look into what other cities does as a city? Do they have commissions for this or what they do? I know they have planning commission, they got a park and rec and, some other commissions, but I don't know about the public safety. Do they meet like this or not? Maybe Charlie. He's the guy who run Matica. You can have.
In California, there are very few cities that have a commission. There are some that have committees similar to this that help to navigate where they'd like to go on public safety, both police and fire. The ones that do have commissions, the only ones I'm aware of, they're all charter cities. Oakland, San Francisco. I don't know that we necessarily want to replicate what they've done. But very, very few have commissions. Advisory committees are more prevalent. And it does provide an opportunity for direct citizen input to what they would like to see at a lower level than going to a council meeting or a commission meeting.
What they have in Tracy, Lathrop, Matica, do they have?
I don't think any of those have anything like this. Manteca at one point had a police advisory committee back when I was chief there and a previous chief. But they work directly with the police chief as opposed to the general public or the being a subcommittee of the board. I don't think Lathrop, I know Lathrop doesn't have anything, and I don't believe that Tracy does. Stockton has some sort of an advisory committee that works with the chief. Lodi, I'm not sure of. Chris may.
I'm not
lives
aware.
up north, in
Yeah,
the north end of
I'm-
the county, but I'm not aware of anything that Lodi does.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah,
Once
and
you-
San Joaquin County doesn't that I know of.
Once you start applying for grants or things that have some kind of advisory requirement for that, then you have an advisory committee that functions under the police chief.
Some do. Yeah.
And
So
Not
how does
oversight.
the public, like residents, have the issues like right now in this committee, people call us, call all the issues about so how does other cities, how they communicate with the government?
They communicate directly with the law enforcement agency, the police department or the sheriff's office. Most departments have some sort of an outreach, whether it's a crime prevention, or Police Chiefs Advisory Committee, the Neighborhood Watch groups.
Yeah, it's usually the Neighborhood Watch Crime Prevention
Yeah.
Group.
Are a tremendous tool for that because that you're getting into the neighborhoods and Roger can probably attest to it. You're getting direct input from those neighborhoods. On a larger scale, you know, the Police Chiefs Advisory Committee, which this would could function that way. You know, provides the input to the police chief. You know, in larger cities, the chief goes out and meets with different areas, different groups, you know, be they ethnic groups or be they geographical areas. It's typically the best way to do it is to talk directly to the residents. On the fire side, I've never seen an advisory committee for a fire department. But they're much, I mean, just
But they're in
because
the
of way-
community all the time.
Yeah,
so.
they're there. And it's everybody loves to see a fireman in the fire department. You know, it's I come from law enforcement, but I was a fireman for a while too. But it's the engagement with for law enforcement with the community is much more important. Just because of the type of interaction that law enforcement has with the community. Fire departments do that almost on a daily basis on their calls. And I have to tell you, the fire department here does an incredible job of interacting with the community. They are very involved with the community.
So this is kind of why I felt like we should start the conversation on this. What, are we going to innovate? Are we going to stop doing this? Or are we going to change the way that we do it? Are we going to need to? There's going to be an awful lot of shifting when the agencies that we would contract with right now shoulder a greater burden for the city rather than for the district.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Stephen.
We'll provide an update next month.
Thank you. So next one is item number 12, open committee comments. Anyone on the Zoom? Go ahead, Amrit.
Just, excuse me, just want to resonate what Harry had started off this conversation. It's the end of the year. And I think very briefly, though, I would like to thank you, the gentleman sitting across me here. Done a tremendous job, Roger and Chris. And I think, you know, and Charlie, of course, and of course the staff here, Steve. Thank you. Appreciate a ton of work that you guys have done. I think we have learned here more than, like Charlie said, what's the role of this committee and all that stuff. I think it's a learning, and we take our learnings, which is invisible to this group, but we go back into the community and talk about, and they realize that we're representing something. So there's a feedback that comes in, which questions are formed because of that input coming out. It's just not us thinking about it. So I definitely see a value for a sort of a middle ground here, which is a community outreach, so to speak, and the law enforcement and the staff here. I think it's hopefully we'll be able to continue this as the city's formed. And I think it's a great value add. I cannot speak for some of the other participants, of course, but I think they would agree on that. You've done a tremendous job with this whole process. Thank you. Appreciate your work.
Yeah, again, I would like to thank all the staff. GM Stephen Pinkerton, Sarah Rexdale, she's always here for the public safety. Roger Alvarez, Chris Stephen, our Mountain House, San Joaquin County Sheriff Department, our CHP, then our Mountain House Fire Department is done a tremendous job, and since I'm here, so they're very friendly, they're involved in the community, they're doing good job right now. So nothing more, and happy holidays. So Merry Christmas in advance, and thank you very much.
Director Dillon, I do have one thing to add. I just wanted to mention the toy drive that CHP has going on. So Officer Zelaya had dropped off a bin, so we do have a bin in the town hall in front of the customer service desk. We are collecting new unwrapped toys for them. And they extended the deadline until the 13th, which is great. It was initially it was the 10th, which would have been Sunday. So we have a few extra days to collect. So as we're hoping to get as many toys to help them out. And then you guys also have another drive this weekend, correct? At Costco and Walmart? At Walmart. Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2 at Walmart. So they are also having the toy drive there. So please drop by and donate a new unwrapped toy. And we'll make sure the Grinch doesn't steal them.
Got a question about the drive, CSP toy drive. If any of the Mountain House residents or families need those toys, how do they can reach you? There are families in Mountain House, some foster families, there are like 6 or 7 houses here. I could able to arrange some bicycles for the kids, which we picked up from county. They were like confiscated bikes or something like that. They put back in the community. So I got 15 bikes, which we can distribute in the community here. So if someone want to reach you, because I know there's families, they need help here too.
Our event's gonna be December 16th
Mhm.
from 10 to 1 at the West High School.
Okay, so anyone need a toy, any family need it, they can go there and pick it up.
Correct. I will also post on social media.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So December 16th at West High from 10 to 1 is when all the toys will be handed out to those in need. Okay, they'll be distributed. Okay.
Thank you.
Just a quick add, officer, is there anything that's been sort of a brochure on, kind of form that can be shared with Mountain House community that you guys already have built for it? Any communication that's out there? Yeah, for the.
Yes, it's all of our social media. We've also put toy road at certain stores throughout Tracy, which is Walgreens, Home Streets. And also gave Roger a flyer.
Oh, okay.
With the his social media as well.
It was shared on our
That's
Facebook
okay.
page, the
Perfect.
Recreation Services Facebook page and the main MHCSD
Yes,
Facebook
already
page. It's been
has.
shared.
Perfect, thank you.
Tracy Press also shared it today.
Yes, Tracy Press shared it.
All right, thank you. So staff comments? Nothing? That's all then. Item 14 is adjournment. So time is what's the time right now? 7:43. Our regular Mountain House Public Safety Committee meeting has been adjourned for January 18th, 2024 on Zoom. Thank you very much and good night, everyone.